Hello everyone. It is Wednesday, February the 4th, 2026. And let's go on a little field trip. Buckle up. Hopefully you already buckled up. I didn't take notice. But make sure you're buckled in. You must be, because if you weren't, that annoying dinger bell would be going off in the old Outback. So we're going on a little field trip here today. We've been cooped up in the car the last couple days, cooped up at work, having office meetings and all this kind of stuff. I mean, look at me. This beard is all out of shape. Of course, this beard is all out of shape. It's just like been cooped up in all this winter weather. It's hard to find a place to walk. It's like an Arctic cold out. Although, sort of feels like a heat wave today. It's 30 out here. So, anyways, we're going to the mall. And to be more specific, the Nittany Mall in State College, Pennsylvania. Understand this is pretty much a dead mall. It's been dying for the better part of a decade. There's been various attempts at trying to revive this property with a casino, which has been very controversial to the local community. But it looks like perhaps they are either actively building said casino or it is already built. Let's go see. And just a warning, right now in the era of the shopping mall, sometimes when you come in with a camera, they make you leave, they escort you out or whatever. For whatever reason, they're not into that level of promotion in dead malls. I'm not really sure why, but that's just the way it is nowadays. So let's go take a walk into the Nittany Mall and see what's going on in there. The mall, I don't live here in State College, but in the community I live in, it's close enough that if someone said, hey, we're going to the mall, or referred to going to the mall, this is the mall that they referred to. It used to be very active, have a lot of great stores, typical of a mall. We used to love going to the malls in that era. Gen Xers, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, in any case, kind of a shame what has happened to this mall over the years. I'm not really sure what I'm going to find in there. It was anchored most recently on both sides, one by a Macy's on one side, and on the other side a Sears. The Sears closed down about the same time that the Sears company went out of business. So we now have Rural King on one side, and I think it's empty on the other side. So I guess I would say on the east side is Rural King. And what's weird about Rural King, it isn't open to the rest of the mall. It's just a closed kind of store, closed off to itself. So it's not really feeding the mall. It's kind of its own store and operation, closed off. So the mall isn't getting any help from Rural King, really. And we'll see here what we find inside. Like I said, it's probably been a number of years since I've been here. So we're going to go take a look, see what's left here. There's a lot of construction here. Half the parking lot's closed off. There's just a lot of things going on here. So I don't know, maybe this is a revival for the mall. There is a large discount retailer called Gabe's here. That seems active. Last I knew, there was like the typical modern mall stores, Bath and Body Works, and all that kind of stuff. I don't think there's a Vicky's, but I don't know. We'll see. Shoe stores in here, and then like maybe some small restaurants, but let's see what's left. Yeah, it's kind of what I expected. Hair salon, T-Mobile, like phone stuff. Lots of clothes stores, and as in closed. Some Maurice's. It's encouraging. I think that might have been a Spencer's or something at one time. Another clothes store. There's a Bath and Body Works. Buckets. Sure sign of a dead mall. Buckets everywhere. Security store. And there's Games. This was a jewelry store one time. I bought some jewelry from here. Here's where Vicky's was. Antiques and museum store. Wow, that's different. It's a fencing academy. Dance academy. I think they're making good use of some of the State College Food Bank. Home care. I mean, a lot of these stores are closed. It's impressive that they're making use of community space here. Ah, there's Spencer's. Okay. I thought that was Spencer's, but it might have been in that previous place, so they still have Spencer's here. Planet Fitness. And this is a pretty good pizza place. Actually enjoyed getting pizza there in the past. Let's take a look. What else is in here? Yeah, it's empty. This used to be a cheesesteak place. Here was a theater company, apparently. And right up here used to be the Sears. Now the only thing up here is like an adult center, like aging. I don't really think there's anything tucked in that corner up there. Nah. right? More buckets. Oh my gosh. This is ceiling. Buckets, water. Yeah. You know what that means. I mean, there's just not a lot of people here. And there's not really a lot of reasons to be here other than to maybe take a little walk, go to a Spencer's. Heck, the food bank and the museum that they had up here isn't even open, so I don't know, it doesn't even look like the fencing place might be open. Big things coming here, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, the fencing academy. They're not open right now. And they got pianos and organs in there. Something you don't see too often anymore. These are Dunham Sporting Goods. And if you don't know what Dunham's is, think Dick's Sporting Goods, except like a local version of it. It's pretty comparable to that. Like a baby store. There's been a couple side areas that I didn't really film in. Had like small local crafty type stores. So here is the end of the mall. Here is, I don't know if this place is usually open, or it's new, or what. Here's where they're teaching people to do the casino thing. Okay, so we're right at the beginning stages of the casino opening. Right here's where the casino is. So right here used to be Macy's, and this was the end of the mall, and then it was just it's a big store. It's Macy's. That's what was there before. And so that's where the casino's going, I guess. And right here, what we just passed by, they're actually schooling and interviewing dealers. So, interesting. So at this point, they're just hiring people. It's a sushi place, I don't know, coming soon it says. AT&T store. Well, that was our trip to the Nittany Mall. Just a quick trip during lunchtime. Let me know what you think. I think the mall itself is kind of dead compared to what malls used to be, but seems to be becoming more of a community space, right? Like community charities and other things like that, like food bank and those types of things, a dance studio, a fencing studio, those types of storefronts. Not really a lot of retail in there right now. I don't know, I kind of think I'm a little impressed with what's going on in there. I mean, I know it looks bad and the roof is falling in and you got the buckets that signify the dead mall, But I don't know, I'm kind of impressed what they're trying to do with the spaces that are open in there, and that they are transitioning it into something useful and something that can find a home in the modern mall. And then the casino there, I didn't show because of privacy and those types of things, and I wanted to respect everyone and respect them all and not get kicked out of there. But there was a lot of people in there learning to be workers, dealers in the casino. And then there were people waiting. It appeared like they were waiting to get interviewed. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, I'm kind of mixed on casinos. I'm not a gambler myself. I've been to one casino in my life and just walked right through it because I was trying to get somewhere. I'm not a gambler, like I said. It's just not my thing. I mean, I don't judge anyone for doing it. That's your thing, you know. So like I said, I'm not judgy on there being a casino in what was an empty space before. You can draw your own whatever, when it comes to that. But I'm impressed with what they're doing with the space, and actually that area where they're interviewing casino people, workers and stuff, that was like 4 stores or something like that. There was a shoe store, not 4 stores, I'm sorry, there was probably like 2 or 3 maybe, but there was a big shoe store there back in the day, and then a couple other little stores, like a restaurant, and something else was in there, I can't remember, something that never worked. It's one of those spaces. And I think it was a pet store at one time, even way back, the kind that sells mill doggies, that kind. And thank goodness that's gone. Anyways, the fact that they had like a couple senior citizens things in there, and like an acting school and a fencing school and a museum / kind of retail for artifacts and stuff, I really like that. I think that's pretty cool. You mix that in with your typical mall staples of cell phone stores and all that kind of crap. And I noticed there wasn't a lot of like middle of the mall kiosks, just one. And that was the one that was there on the way in and out. I don't know. Let me think. Let me know what you think. Is it a dead mall? I think it's safe to say it's a dead mall, but it's in the middle of transitioning into something else, a casino and some other space. If they're going to use that in, its best form, they should probably fix the roof. And, these malls, how they were thrown together quick and dirty and cheap. And that's, plus they have very low maintenance on them over the years. So you get the drips and all that kind of stuff from the roof, right? I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been into a mall. That's the first time in probably a couple of years. And it was that mall was the last one I was in. They're all kind of in a state like that for the most part, other than the really massive ones like King of Prussia and Mall of America, and what's the one up outside of New York City there, that one. So anyways, thanks for coming along to this trip to the mall, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing a dead mall and its transition into a casino and whatever else they're doing with it. It's always kind of fun to see that all of these malls, all of them have like falling in roof elements and buckets and those yellow signs that there's water and it's wet on the floor. I mean, you know, it's so weird because every single mall that has been around since at least the 80s, even probably the 90s, has that nowadays. Nobody takes care of their malls. Like I said, I imagine Mall of America, King of Prussia, they're probably way different. And you know, like I said, that one, it slips my mind what that one's called up in outside of New York City. Anyways, thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this trip to the mall. I tried to get in and out of there before security caught me with the camera and said I can't be filming. If you work for the mall security or whatever and I'm not supposed to be in there, hey, let me know in the comments. I won't film there again then. But I would like to go back and see when the casino opens. I won't be walking into the casino. I guarantee you that's very, very much against the rules there, bringing a camera into a casino. I'm very sure of that. But any case, I tried to be as respectful as possible to other people. And all right, dreams, grass, and churros.